What is going on, YouTube? So today I have a very special treat for you guys and a bit of a story to this one. So when I was very, very young, I went to an event that I no longer remember. And there was a guy there, and he was giving out a lot of these pens, this specific model. And again, I don't really remember very much aside from the fact that I was allowed to take one home. And so, I took it home and I messed with it a little bit and I lost its clip. Yeah. And there was another part to it that I kind of peeled off, and I was a very, very young kid, right? And I wrote with it a little bit, and I kind of just threw it into a little cup drawer, and I didn't think much of it then. Into a little pen of cups, and I didn't think much of it then. Then fast forward a few years later, and I'm kind of just going through some of my old pens and trying to figure out what does right, what doesn't right, blah blah blah, So I get it out, and I pull it out and I'm just kind of looking at it, and I take off the cap and I write, and sure enough, it works. I'm like, wow, most of the pens in this cup were dry. Why aren't you dry? That is really weird. So I start to look at it, and I see Space Pen by Fisher, or Fisher Space Pen. What? I don't think I saw the by first. I just saw Fisher Space Pen. It was like a discovery. I really had to look closely to make sure I could see it. I was like, wait, what is this thing? And this little stylus part was gone and the clip was gone. So it looked a lot different. It looked a lot more deformed. And as you can see, I have restored it. So, I kind of look at it, I'm kind of playing around with it. I'm like, wow, this is actually a really neat pen, geez. So then I look them up, and I just fall in love with the story. And the story is kind of phenomenal. So, the story behind Fisher Space Pens is during the space race. A lot of people get some stuff wrong. They think that NASA, paid for this. From my research, it does not show that NASA actually funded the Fisher Space Pen. This was just a private company who created it, and then they showed it to NASA, and NASA bought a bunch of them. And as did the cosmonauts, I believe, because, at the time, yes, the Russians were using pencils. It's kind of how the joke goes, right? It's like, oh, we made this incredible, Fisher Space Pen, and, NASA paid millions for it. Or not paid, but bought it for millions and all this, right? Whereas the Soviets just used pencils, and it's like, all right, fine. But what we forget is that the Soviets were actually really nervous about their pencils, because they're like, what if a piece of graphite breaks off and goes into some other part of the ship? We're all dead if that ignites with something. So it became a big liability problem. So as soon as, it was created, it was bought up like that, just boom, very, very popular amongst them. Now, there are a few different models, and this isn't the exact model that went into space. This is just the one that I got for free, fortunately. I consider myself super blessed, because I think the value of this guy right now is $45. Yeah, and I just got it for free, and I'm like, wow, holy smokes. And so I purchased a few more that I'll show to you guys later. But for the longest time, I had this space pen, and I figured out a trick with the refill that I'll show you guys in a second. This is going to be a very fun and probably a long video, so we'll just get into it. So, yeah, so this is the Fisher Space Pen Bullet Stylus. It has a stylus on it. And this is kind of, I don't know, this is meant to be an executive-friendly, kind of mini, stylus pen thing going around, it kind of functions, right? It's a matte black with nice chrome accents. This rubberized grip is pretty nice, honestly, I personally am a big fan, I would say. I appreciate the chrome. I really appreciate the stylus, because it's I can take it and I can just move it around. One thing that I do wish is that I've seen on another model that I'll show you guys later, that there's a stylus on the end. Yeah, and I mean, that'd be really, really cool. But yeah, and so right now it's I got this really nice free pen, and I was like, holy smokes, and I realized that I was just sitting there on gold, and so let me just show you the refill, and let me tell you about the magic of the refill. So this right here, actually, let's go ahead and like do some measuring with the refill. And then we're also going to measure the pen in just a moment. So the refill, I want to make sure that's lined up. All right, I think that's good. The refill looks to be about 3.5 inches. Nice. The pen itself, when it's closed, oh boy, I hope that my, here, let me get that out of there. I hope that my measuring is right here. You guys might need to just double check me and look at this. This look like just over 4 inches, about, maybe kind of adjust it. I don't know, it's like 4 inches, but then when you take it apart and when you fully extend it, it's a solid, oh, hang on, there we go, just over 5 inches probably. And then if we were to put in the refill, I'm sure it'd be another centimeter more or something, so you get the picture. It's a very sturdy pen and stuff. Now, so with this refill, the reason why I want to focus on this so much, so first up, Space Pens are all made in America, Boulder City, Nevada. So there's that, if that kind of appeals to you. They have a little website, spacepen.com, JLRR, black medium, that's the point tip and the size and stuff, and the color. I believe that it's a 1.1 millimeter. There's fine point for 0.9, and then there's what's called bold for 1.3. I have not tried the bold yet, but I do have a lot of medium and fine, and they're all very nice. And so, you know, there's there's this pen right here, right? And the thing that makes it special, geez, I really got to get to the point, I'm sorry, gang, is that this ink is pressurized, right? So down here, what happened is they created this ink that's, you know, just a pretty good solid ink. It seems kind of oil based. It's very thick. But I like it. I think it's super nice. So, you know, they created this, and then they injected a shot of nitrogen, like right at the end cap, like right back here. So what happens is it's always pressing against the ink, and it's trying to press it up and get it to write, which is super helpful just in terms of, you know, trying to get a job done and stuff, right? It's like this kind of pen is like really good for like blue collar work and stuff. Maybe not this this specific model, but I'll get into some options that could be really good. And yeah, and I absolutely just adore this thing. I think it writes super well. Yeah, so we're gonna get into a smear test. No need for a spring test. This is not a clicky pen, this is capped. And then we're gonna get into a highlighter test. And yeah, and then I'm going to actually get into like a few different models and a few different options for people who might not want a pen, you know, that's like 20 bucks or 45 bucks, which like about the cheapest option that I've found with the Fisher Space Pen, I think unfortunately is about like $11 from their website. They have a sale right now, so that's how I kind of know that. Okay, now let's just get into some writing. So first up, I'm gonna just write Fisher. Yeah, it's smooth, it's nice. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's just fine. You know, Fisher Space Pen Bullet with stylus. Okay, now the smear test. So 1 second, 1 second, 3 seconds. Yeah, I like this thing a lot. It's so nice. 5 seconds. All right, let's do it. 1. Okay, a little bit of smearing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Still some smearing, sadly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a little bit of smearing there. So, a little bit of smearing. With that said, from I do this a lot, I know, but like I do tend to be a little merciful towards pens because again, this is like a really like extreme test where I just push it to the limit. with normal note-taking and everyday writing, like, again, by the time I'm, like, back here, it's like I don't see a lot of smearing going on. You know, I'll get that with other inks and other refills, and, you know, if I ever review one of those, I will let you guys know, right? But, like, again, it's not, like, to me anyways, it doesn't seem like it's, like, it doesn't seem like it's the most smearing kind of pen. You know, like, you could do a lot worse. And, like, I do think the dry time is still super good. So, anyways, back to it, though. Let's get into a highlighter test. And I just realized that I could do a lot more with this pen, actually, than I had originally planned. In fact, I think that I will do that because I have some water and a Write in the Rain notepad. So, yeah, we're totally gonna get into this. Okay, boom. Now let's see what the highlighter does. Okay, it's not too bad. You'd probably want to wait a few more seconds because there's still a little bit of smearing, if you can kind of see that right there. But it's not the worst thing in the world. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah, and so, okay. Yeah, and then we can just do a quick skip test. Not a lot of skipping going on. Yeah, really smooth. A lot of people, I mean, look, I will say, as the refill kind of wears down, you do start to see more skipping, and it is a little bit harder. But, like, at the initial phase, it's honestly super nice. And, like, maybe that's not the right way to put it. Like, yes, there's skipping, but, like, there's still a lot of, like, smooth periods, too. And, I mean, overall, like, the Fisher Space Pen is just, like, really phenomenal for being able to, you know, just kind of write through anything. And I'm going to show you this. So, right here, I barely use this puppy, honestly. Should probably use it more. Right here, we have a Write in the Rain notepad. And so, you know, two different companies, Fisher Space Pens and Write in the Rain. Write in the Rain does have some pens as well, but they're pretty much Fisher Space Pens, but they just made a deal with them, and they're like, hey, Fisher, can we please use your stuff? And they're like, yeah, man, no problem. So let me just go ahead. Some little Aquafina. We're just gonna, okay, we're fine. Just gonna put a little drip down, a little bit. Voila! Oh my gosh! So this, jeez, wow, that's kind of sick. I should review this puppy. So Write in the Rain has waterproof paper. Basically, this is the Outdoors, you guys. I swear, there's some kind of cardboard base that they base this on, and we got just we got a treat today, my friends. And this space pen, we're gonna test it, and we're gonna see if it can write in this, like, through this water. I don't even know what to write, so I think I'll just do some of these, you know, just to kind of see what happens. So, okay. Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to grab a gel pen. What kind of gel pen, you ask? Oh, that's beautiful. A nice solid Pilot G2. Oh. Well, it tried, but you can, oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, that's so sad. I'm sorry, G2. It's not your forte. You're good for other stuff. I will review that in the future. And then, you know what? Let's try just a nice little Bic ballpoint. Oh, I looked away for 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, the Bic definitely holds up better. But you see, it's not as smooth as the Space Pen. You see that the Space Pen held up, and then the Bic at some point kind of just died out a little bit, which is sad because Bic has so many noble things about it. Yeah, and so that's kind of the beauty of the Space Pen. It can write through water, grease, like all sorts of stuff, right? So if you're out there, you know, working construction, if you're out, you know, camping or something, it's like something like this would be really great to have. Now, okay, I'm just gonna I mean, the paper's waterproof, so I'm gonna just move that sucker. Oh, see, all the gel ink is gone. That's so sad. You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna dispose of this real quick. Oh, oh, jeez. Didn't spill anywhere. There we go. Oh, all right. There we go. Just a little review. That's the Space Pen ink. That is the Bic ballpoint ink. So look, to be completely fair, the Bic's not bad, but if you want consistency, Space Pen. Cool. Right in the Rain. We'll probably use this in the future. All right. Love you, buddy. Okay. Now, here's the deal with the Space Pen. Their prices are a bit up there. You know, it's American made, which is cool. But again, it's like, that means it may cost a little bit more. You know, they gotta like compensate their workers and stuff. And again, this isn't, you know, anything against them. I actually think that the company is phenomenal, and I really want to visit their store one day. But the fact remains that it's a pretty big price point. Like, this sucker is $45. I got another one right here that was, I think I got it for like, I got this at Home Depot, but I can't remember how much it was. But I know it was north of $20. It's probably like 23 or 25 or something. So, you know, and that's kind of one of their like cheaper, that's one of the cheaper ends, you know. And so, I'll get into this model later, but right now I want to show you, a trick that you can do, right? So a lot of pens are known to have this kind of refill. And this, it's not made by Parker Pens, but this is a Parker style refill. And, you know, you'll know it when you see it. And you'll see this in a lot of different kinds of pens, right? So this is made by Dayacom. You know, German made, very smooth. I've written with it. It goes into this pen right here, which is like a cool wooden brass thing that I think I made when I was like 13 or something for a little Boy Scout project. And, you know, I very much like it. Now, if you look at the refill here, it's not the same way, right? Seems kind of weird. And many of you probably know where I'm going with this, but this is just for all the newbies who don't know. You know, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of an economic trick, a little economic option, if you will. So this Bic Grip 3, this G3, I guess at one point I think it was a gel pen. It takes this style of refill, right? So, you know, I could take this and I could like put it in there, right? However, the beautiful thing is this guy has a Fisher, this spring is old, this guy has a Fisher Space Pen refill fitted into it, because thanks to this converter cap that you can buy with any refill that's $7.99 at Office Depot, the cheapest there, boom, you have yourself a Parker style refill. And now this refill can go into any pen that takes this kind of Parker style refill. And I think that's just a beautiful, beautiful thing, you know? And so, for those of you guys who, you know, still want a Fisher Space Pen, but you're like, geez, man, like 20 bucks, are you serious? It's like, yep, I get it. It's kind of tough. It's like, find a nice pen around your home. It can be whatever, you know, like this sucker, this was given to me by my grandpa, actually, and I just held on to it, and then, you know, I figured that out, and I threw it in, and boom, look at that, a space pen, super cool. And yeah, like, find yourself something like this, like something just nice and cheap, like an old Bic, and granted, this looks a little nicer than most Bics, but you get the picture. Like, find something that takes a Parker style refill, you know, around the home or like whatever. Go out, pay like $7, or well, I think it might even be like $5.99. I don't know. Find yourself a refill though. Get that refill, you know, and it will come with the converter cap, and take it, just like put on the converter cap, and then boom, put it into the pen, and you have yourself a Fisher Space Pen, quote unquote. You know, another popular option that some guys do is they take the Zebra F701 and they just drop a little Fisher Space Pen refill in here, and I think it's pretty nice. You know, this is a fairly simple, like a fairly cheap pen. I got this, I think I got this at Office Depot as well. Yeah, and it's like south of $10, which is really nice. You know, you get yourself a nice little Fisher Space Pen and boom, you're just ready to go. And this guy does not take a Parker style refill. It can just straight up take like a Fisher Space Pen refill, which I think is super cool. So anyway, enough of my ranting though. Yeah, that is what I like recommend for those of you who don't necessarily want a space pen but still want the benefits of a space pen. There are other options, and like Fisher knows that, and they make them, and honestly, like, bless them, bless those guys for, like, you know, for like doing that kind of stuff, right? And so yeah, so going into some other models. So this right here is probably the most popular kind. It's like if you were to take this matte black color and put it on this model, that's probably the most popular like Fisher Space Pen that's out there. This is called just the Bullet. It's not the Bullet with the stylus, it is just the Bullet, and it's very nice, and I do enjoy it. I think it's a really cool pen. You know, just take it and boom, it goes like that. Boom, now it's like full style. It's a full-length pen, a full-scale pen. I don't know. You guys already know like how these things write, so I'm probably not gonna bring the paper back. I'm just gonna kind of show you some of the cooler options. I know that in terms of price, like, I do think Office Depot is a great option. This one, it was north of 20 bucks, as I've said. And it's just, it's very nice because it's like, it's very compact, and that's one of the appeals that people love. You know, this sucker, like, I instilled this clip on it, and originally it came without the clip. And like, a lot of guys like that because they feel like they can just like slide it into their pocket, pull it out, just go like boom, and now you got a nice pen. You know, it doesn't take up a whole lot of storage in your pocket. It's just a nice, simple thing, very classy, very elegant. And yeah, and they just kind of do it like that. I personally really wanted to have a clip on so I could just clip it like anywhere and not have to worry about it. I like my pens to have clips on them, but you know. But so, just kind of going back to it, if you kind of look at these groovings, like, I think that they're fairly nice. You know, I don't mind them. In retrospect, I do kind of wish I would have gotten the black one a little bit, but at the same time, like, these groovings are plenty fine, and I really enjoy the color. You know, I love looking at this. This is probably one of my best looking pens out there. And so yeah, and so it's fairly simple. It's fairly nice. You know, it's American made. It'll, you know, go anywhere, writes everywhere, as they say. Yeah. And then boom. So that's another option. And then I was like, yo, you know what? I would actually like another one. Boy, I was like, you know, I would like to grab another one that could be, you know, really fun and really interesting. And, you know, I budgeted a little bit. Dave Ramsey would have been proud. And I got myself a really nice Cerakote edition. And this is the FDE Flat Dark Earth. And this is the Cap-O-Matic. Now, the Cap-O-Matic, personally, is probably my favorite model. Let's just measure it real quick. So it sits around 5 inches. Also, I forgot to measure the bullet. Let me measure the bullet real quick. The bullet sits around just under 4 inches when it's closed. And let's see, 5 inches. How much? About 5.5, something like that. My measurements are never precise, but anyway, you get the picture. It's a decent size, right? The Cap-O-Matic, the reason that I like it is, like, personally, I like twist and clicky pens. You know, capped pens, I still love them. You know, I still love those two pens. I think they're great. But the beautiful thing about this one is that, in my opinion, this is the easiest one-handed pen to use. Because, so, the clicking device is this right here. So, it kind of has this beautiful, like, thing to it where, you know, you set it in your pocket, and you don't run the risk of, you know, it going off. Because, like, yeah, it just won't, basically. Because there's not, like, a button up there to kind of manipulate and press down, and oh, look at that, there it is. It's like the clip is connected to the button. So as long as the clip is stable when it's clipped to your pocket, it is, boom, you're pretty much good to go. You know, unless something kind of like just rubs up against it in your pocket and deploys it. I have had that happen before, but in general, it's pretty rare. And yeah, and it just hits very nice. I love the Cerakote feeling because with the Cerakote, it's very, very grippy, you know, and this is the FDE, the flat dark earth version. So it's kind of brown. Realize it might look a little green. Let me, yeah, there we go. That looks a lot better. Jeez. Yeah, this is a really nice version. I personally find it, like, very cool. I think it's a very good looking pen. It's very, like, minimalist, honestly. You know, they don't show any logos on here. On the other two, they did. On the, you saw where it was on the Stylus one. And then on this one, it's, like, right here. Sometimes they have it on the cap with other versions, but this one is like this, Fisher Space Pen. And I absolutely love it. I think it's really cool. And so, yeah, and so this is just a really solid Cap-O-Matic, flat dark earth, just a nice brown color. And again, like, it's like the easiest pen, in my opinion, to use, like, one-handed, because it's very easy to clip onto your jeans, onto your belt. Well, maybe not your belt, but on your jeans, yes. And then if you need to pull it out, it's like, it's very, very quick deployment, you know, because a lot of people with clicky pens, they go like this, right? And then they go like that, right? And so, but, you know, doing it like, here, I'll just show you a better example with this fellow. It's like, they go like boom, and then like boom, right? And then, you know, they're just kind of writing around, which is cool, which is nice. But with the Fisher Space Pen, hang on. Yeah, okay, all's right. With the Fisher Space Pen, it's like doing that is kind of uncomfortable. And I've seen a lot of people criticize it for that. I'm like, guys, that's not how you click that. That's just not how you do it. You go like this, right? You post one end in between your pointer and your middle finger, and then your thumb right here, you know, kind of cups it like that. And then you just go. Like, it's not that hard. And then boom, you like wrap up on it. It's like, that is how this Cap-O-Matic was designed. That is how Cap-O-Matics are designed. You do not go like that. Get that out of here. You go like that, and then boom, you are ready to go, you know? I'm just saying, if you were a military guy, if you were under fire, and if you had to write a note down or something, it's like, boom, that's it. That's your pen. This is the one for you. This is what you would take into combat. Maybe it's not what you would fight with necessarily. I can and will make a video on tactical pens later, but, you know, taking into combat and just like writing with it, it's like, this is a perfect pen. Okay, now this video has gotten extremely long, and I apologize. So I'll just close it up. I absolutely love my Fisher Space Pens. I think they're very, very nice. I got you the 3 kinds that I have. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that, you know, it inspires you guys. Maybe someone wants a space pen after this video. That'd be super cool if you did. And if not, but if you still want the ink, there are other options, like this Zebra F701, very popular with the EDC community, and I have carried it and have written with it, and I do love it. Or, you know, just a standard pen that takes a little Parker style refill. This is, I'm gonna have the logo face this way, boom. And yeah, and like overall, it's just, it's a great product. It's a really fun pen, you know, really good for, you know, just testing out like a little, I don't know, just testing out a fun little notepad, going camping, if you work like a tough job or something, and if you want something that, you know, could like really kind of help you out, like either of these would be fine, because, you know, the Cerakote is anti-scratch, and this guy, it's like, he's fairly cheap and stuff, and honestly, you kind of know he was made to take a beating, so you don't feel too bad if you were to drop it or anything. He has a few scratches, but I'm proud of him. He's a really solid pen. Anyway, going back to it. Yeah, this is just a great pen to have for pretty much anything, honestly. You know, like, that is the advantage of like Fisher Space Pens. And, you know, like, if you were to ask me if it's as smooth as something like a Uniball Jetstream or an Acro 1000 or something, I'd honestly tell you no. You know, it's like, it's not as smooth as those are, but at the same time, it's not, its application is meant for more than just like note taking, you know. It's meant to it's meant to bring your experience to life almost, you know? It's meant to, oh man, I'm getting weird with it. It's just a great pen, you know? And like, it's great for everyday carry. It's great for being outdoors and working and stuff. It's just, it's awesome. I don't know what else to say. I love this thing to death. And I really would recommend it to anyone. Yeah, it's just a great pen. It's a great product. And like, yes, it's not as smooth as a Uniball Jetstream, but it is there when you need it in a pinch. And one more thing that I should mention as well is that these refills have a shelf life of 100 years. Not only that, but they also they also last at least 3 times longer than the average pen, which I can attest to. They very much do, you know. So while your Acro 1000 or your Jetstream or something is going to run out a little quicker, this guy will keep on chugging along. So you're definitely getting your money's worth, I'll tell you that much, you know. And so anyway, this has been a fun video. I've really enjoyed this, and I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care, and this is Desk of Pens signing off. Bye.